Hello, adventurers, travelers, hobos of murderous variety, and welcome to Karl and Richard Play Daggerheart. I'm Richard, an adequate dungeon master.
And I am Karl, an equally adequate player, I hope.
Yes, I'm going to say yes to that. So, before we get deep into today's game, also, I really enjoy the idea of what's your degree in storytelling? And what's your master's in storytelling? How good of a DM are you? Meh.
It's just adequate.
6
Gets
years
the
of,
job done.
10 years of casual D&D training and 5 years of straight up academic training gets me to be, I don't know, I guess. So before I just spend the next hour gloating about my various achievements, and trigger warning to those listening because Karl's life is triggering just in general, what's new with Karl?
Okay, so possibly related to the cursed spleen, I had a palsy of the third nerve behind my eye.
Yes, this sounds vaguely familiar-ish.
Well, I didn't have a specific term or diagnosis for it when I was describing it, but it was like a headache, double vision, and it's generally kind of concerning because it's like that's right in your brain or whatever. So hopefully my brain wasn't cursed too. Um,
Hopefully.
anyways, uh, so uh, I went to the doctor. Well, I went to my spleen surgeon for the pre-surgery consultation, and then I was like, okay, so I have this, double vision in my eye. What do I do? They referred me to an optometrist. The optometrist referred me to an ophthalmologist, and then the ophthalmologist got me a CT scan. And by the time they did the CT scan, whatever was causing it was already basically cleared up. And so there was nothing exceptional about the CT scan that they had any notes on.
Okay.
So then I have a follow-up appointment with another ophthalmologist, and they're like, yeah, okay. So in a couple weeks, you've been referred to see a neuro-ophthalmologist.
Ooh la la.
And it's like, okay, because it could be a brain thing. So the eye doctor with a bachelor's in brains, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, so I go to see this neuro-ophthalmologist, Dr. Wong.
Okay.
And I'm fairly certain that the other doctors referred to her as a she.
Yeah.
In any event, female doctor doesn't really, that part's not really relevant. Point is that I'm sitting in the waiting room.
I mean, I'm going to pause you for a moment. Could you imagine living in a world where the gender of the specialist would actually impact whether or not you trust them to... Oh, wait, that's reality somehow. Yay. Please continue now that I've made my social commentary.
Well, okay, so I got a phone call saying that I was, it's like, don't be more than 5 minutes early for your appointment. I was like, okay, that's weird. But so I show up to the optometrist's office about 5 minutes before my appointment, and get checked in. And then they're like, okay, you can sit in the waiting room.
Bless me. Continue.
So I'm sitting in the waiting room for like 15, 20 minutes. I was like, okay, that's weird because, my appointment was like 20 minutes ago, but whatever. Then they call me, and I look over, and it's this white lady. And I was like, oh, man, was I being racist in assuming that Dr. Wong would be Asian?
I mean, I've been fighting making the you're in the wrong place joke the entire time, so I'm not a better person.
Oh, it turns out they had to do like several other optometry tests, like vision test or like take pictures of the back of your eye somehow. I don't really understand how that one works, but they just like shine a light in your eye and then like, this is what the back of your eye looks like. Okay. You tell me, I can't see it.
You're like, I am forced to believe you in this circumstance.
Like a peripheral vision test. So it was like there were 3 different tests, and each test it was like I sat down for 20 minutes. They called me over. They do the test. Sit down for another 20 minutes. They call me over and do another test. And so it's like, okay, I was mistaken. Most likely, this person it wasn't even a doctor.
Okay.
A nurse, a medical practitioner, but not an actual doctor.
I
And
I
then
almost wanted to say rude there, but I wasn't really sure I was going with it. Like, I feel like it was a rude statement, but I don't actually know what you did wrong. So please continue while I figure out how to judge you.
well, I'm just I no disrespect to nurses and whatnot. Like, it does take skill and education to be able to do that type of job. That medical technicians of a variety, but at the end of the day, they aren't actual doctors. It's just a fact. But that's not really the point of the story. The point of the story is that Dr. Wong was in fact an Asian lady, and she calls me over, and she tells me, it's like, yeah, you're pretty young to get a palsy of the third nerve. That's kind of an old person problem. Like, she literally said that. I don't know how sensitive she is towards the more often elderly clients that she has, but
You can in fact get a PhD in nursing.
Really?
So they can in fact be a doctor. I had to look this up. You may resume.
Okay. Anyways, she's like, okay, there doesn't seem to be anything wrong. Based on your description, you had this palsy of the third nerve, unusual for someone your age. What I suspect happened is that there was a clump of low-functioning platelets that caused this palsy of the third nerve.
So, one thing I have to do, like a side tangent, whenever we're going through your medical history and events, I always think to myself, it's impossible that this is my fault. But once in a while, I'll be like, I have hit him in that location with a bamboo stick before. Did I, in fact, give my friend brain damage? No, I'm sure it's fine. What are the odds that I personally gave you brain damage? But please, continue.
But so then she's like, all right, so we're going to schedule you in for an MRI just to rule out anything else going on in the brain. And if that comes back clear, then we're going to assume it was this clump of low-functioning platelets.
I need to give our
due to
listeners
the
a
spleen.
disclaimer here. So, for listeners of Richard and Karl Play Daggerheart, which we'll get to the Daggerheart when we feel like it, I don't
When you feel
actually
like it.
pre-screen or script things, which means whatever Karl is saying, if he's about to tell me he has a malignant brain tumor, I was not aware of this until this stream started. I just need to give this context out that they are going to learn in approximately real time what I learn, because I'm not, despite my specific field of study, it never occurs to me to like prep. Please continue.
Okay. So she says that the waiting list is about 2 months for an MRI, and then they'll schedule another follow-up appointment 2 months after I get the MRI. So less than a week later, my phone rings, and it's SHA, which stands for Saskatchewan Hells Angels.
Fun fact, everything that starts with an S in Saskatchewan does in fact stand for Saskatchewan.
I'm just kidding. It stands for Saskatchewan Health Authority.
I would trust the Hells Angels more.
But anyway, so the health authority, they call me and they're like, yeah, I realized that this is like in an hour, but we had a cancellation for the MRI, so you could come and get it done like today. I was like, oh, wow, I thought it was going to take like 2 months. I guess thank you, whoever canceled their MRI at the last minute.
Or they just didn't find it in time and they died.
Yeah, okay, so I mean, I was thinking a little bit lighter hearted in this particular instance, but there are a variety of reasons why someone might no longer be able to have an MRI.
I'm a downer. Please continue.
Anyways, so I went in for the MRI, and now, I mean, they say it takes like 5 business days to get the results back to the doctor, and then I have no idea how long it takes the doctor actually to like interpret said results. But now I just have to wait until some point in the future to find out whether or not something else is seriously wrong, or if my cursed spleen caused my eye to go funky.
Danger. Danger of the stranger variety.
But the contrast diet that they use for MRIs is a little bit milder than the contrast diet that they use for CT scans.
Okay.
So like the MRI, the CT scan stuff, it leaves the flavor in your mouth, and then it like just makes you feel kind of flush in the face and hands and like groin area. It's a strange feeling, but it's very sudden, and then they do their thing, whatever. The MRI contrast dye, it doesn't make you feel flush, but it seems like I reacted to it a little bit, because when they put it in, it made me feel extremely nauseous for like a minute. I almost threw up, and then it passed, and then I was just able to do the rest of the MRI scan. I think I might have fallen asleep in the machine, even though it's this loud, like, whirring thing going on around you. The technician, she had Spotify, and so she ran like a 60s, 70s essentials playlist while I was laying there getting my brain scanned. So that was kind of fun.
As the parts of your brain light up that enjoy classic jazz.
But I don't know what technology they actually use to pump the sound into the headphones, because obviously they can't have magnets in there.
Huh.
But what?
Huh. Wait a minute. Yeah. Huh. Everything I know about speakers involves magnets for the most part.
Whatever technology they're using has terrible dynamic range.
I mean, yeah, because you brought up a good point. Magnets, how the fuck do they work?
But that's what's new with me. So what's new with you there, Richard?
So, in my master's program, working on various things and being a very thoroughly whelmed human being, I had to give a presentation this week, and my topic was on food lures in literature. So I made 4 eras of gingerbread. So I made 1600s gingerbread out of toasted breadcrumbs and boiled honey. It's terrible. I made 1900s gingerbread, which were awkward sticks but delicious. I made contemporary gingerbread, which was less good. And then I turned the leftovers into gingerbread cupcakes. But through this experiment process, not only did I learn that culinary just kind of peaked in the 1900s and we've been getting extremely diminishing returns since. But it's funny because I'm talking to my professors and they're like, you did so much baking. What happened? I'm like, well, what happened is I procrastinated the grading I had to do. So I would, whenever a timer would go off to put something in or out of the oven, it gave me an excuse to stop doing my job and do some baking. So I had edible handouts for my presentation. So baking gingerbread is like a decent chunk of my time. Starting to blur 8 weeks into my master's program because I'm like, presentation here, pitch there, event here, book launch there. One day I went and got a cocktail themed after a Blue Eyes White Dragon that came with a trading card, and then went to a gay bar to do a book launch. Like, my life is very, very busy and chaotic, and I've lost the ability to track what's happening at this point. Like, I have all my calendar alerts set up to try and keep some form of structure. But, like, for a little perspective, once I'm done procrastinating by running this podcast, I have to write some stat blocks, write a reflection on an essay, write an outline for another thing, write up some one-pager note guides, and just do things and stuff. My brain is basically half the consistency of potatoes.
Okay, so how much longer do you have in your master's program?
I'm about 1/6 of a way through the full thing.
1/6 of the way through. Okay.
Because it's 3 semesters long, and each semester's 12 to 13 weeks.
All right.
And I like to describe it that I'm in a boat and it's filling with water. And if I keep bailing the water out at the speed it fills, I won't die. Right. But it's filling real fast right now. Because these 30 to 40 page papers are no joke.
That's true.
Plus, each class only really has 3 assignments. It's like give the presentation, propose the paper, write the paper.
Right.
So I can't really, like, phone it in on any of them because everything's worth like 1/3 of my performance.
That makes sense.
And yeah, long story short, academia is delightful. And it's given me a lot of pent-up horrors to inflict upon you. So we'll see how far we get this session, but I want to save a bit of time at the end to talk about how the session I ran for my other group ran in parallel to this. So, for a little meta context, we're at the part with my little booklet of side quests I'll put up on itch.io later. So it's like, in the adventure, I basically have a chunk right now where we stop being so linear and it's like, here is my stack of optional crap you guys can do, or you can ignore it completely.
Ooh. Right.
So, my players had some interesting things happen the last 2 sessions, and I'm
Gotcha.
curious to see if anything happens at all in your sessions that happened in theirs, because we've kind of unbounded reduced the number of railroads I had set. Because
Right.
I know railroading and D&D and Daggerheart get a bad rep, but sometimes you gotta give people some structure, or else they just sit there
Mhm.
being confused.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, what's new with me is Scholastic Heckle, and that's pretty much it. My nose still smells. I think I've permanently tinted my apartment gingerbread scented. And then I didn't sort my cookies well, so like my girlfriend got a sample the burned cookie rather than the fresh one because I'd given away all the fresh ones. And I kept
Ah.
trying the 16th century gingerbread thinking it would taste better. But it's
Okay,
like
but just step back here. Shouldn't you use your girlfriend's official title though?
geeky girlfriend, you are correct. Good catch. You have managed to maintain my relationship until I inevitably succeed or fail.
Hmm.
But with that out of the way, let's dagger some heart because it's been a while.
Okay.
So for players who are following along live and are like, why did a month happen? We just explained it. MRIs were involved. So you see, Karl, while being medically incapacitated, was showing up every time for the game, and sleepy, lazy Richard was procrastinating. You're like, I'm ready to play from this hospital bed, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm kind of tired. I graded like 30 papers. So,
Something like that, yeah.
last time on Daggerheart, enter the Witherwild, the Witherwilding, the Karl adventures, semicolon. So, you are given a job to hunt down a mysterious terrorist known as the Wraith, who might be 3 raccoons in a trench coat. On
Oh,
this,
definitely, there's 3 raccoons in a trench coat. Everybody told me that. It's got to be true.
so, as you went on your adventure, you managed to find a little girl stuck on a dirt bank across a bridge, sacrificing your majestic hippopotamus steed. The girl has been rescued, and you made it to the town of Nerware, the first stop on your adventure, learning that the local magical barrier keeping the horrifying virus at bay was damaged. You were politely instructed to take the girl and get out of town. After
Mm.
successfully faking your death, actually faking an unrelated guard's death, because there's just so many layers of espionage going on here, you made it to the town of Wormhearth Crossing, a floating city in the river, and you blew the entire city up. Thousands dead. You fought a wizard in
I,
a
did,
river.
I didn't blow the city up. Their uncontrolled spirit deity that they were drawing power from blew the city up.
I like how terrible this recap is, because if someone just starts in on this episode, they'll have no idea what's going on, and I'm fine with that. So, after surviving a town full of plant zombies, trying to avoid being petrified or attacked by the Wither Blight, after trying to throw a child in a sack before upgrading to a Nezuko basket, you find yourself battered and bruised on a beach with a dead wizard. What would you like to do?
Well, I was going to ask whether or not I could, have a rest, but I guess I don't know. That doesn't really.
You can certainly try.
I guess we probably actually got to. Kind of head in the direction of where we were going to.
So you are heading to the village of Elora, a town with a large catfolk population, and possibly 3 raccoons in a trench coat. As you tried to escape the city of Wormshearth Crossing, which was a peaceful utopia with a dark side and very carnival-esque, you did get swept a fair distance down the river. And you do know that soon Haven guards of the local occupying power will probably like to know what happened to this town. But you did leave no witnesses, and no one has actually seen your true form but the girl that you're traveling with.
Yeah. See, I don't know if I want to, I know I technically work for Haven, but I would rather just leave a trail of destruction and mystery behind myself and maybe press onwards towards the nearest town that is in the direction of Allura.
So, because Wormhearth's crossing was really strategically placed in the middle of the river to be a large trade route, you have two
Mm-hmm.
options ahead of you. If you can either head straight forward, you can try and head up through the mountains, which will be a bit of an intense climb, or you can
Mm-hmm.
try and get through the more marshy swampland to the south of it. Or you can just completely give up on going to the city of Allura. I can't stop you.
No. I feel like going on up the mountains.
Excellent.
I feel like I'm least likely to be followed up the mountains.
So, as you begin, you've gotten out of the mud, you've headed up the hills, avoiding the zombie town because you simply don't want to play that again. You do manage to.
Okay, so I'm sorry, sorry to interrupt, but when I was climbing, I do want to try and find a cave, but I want to make sure it's unoccupied. Can I use my like Lord of the Flies to make sure that there's no like dead carcasses or anything nearby any caves that I might find?
So how this is going to play out is I'm going to, just to metagame a bit, use a cliffside ascent traversal challenge.
Okay.
So at this point, I set a dramatic D12 down on the table.
Dunk.
Your objective is to tell me what various skills and abilities you use to successfully attempt to climb up this cliff. So your first comment is you want to try and find a cave on the side of this cliff using Lord of the Flies. So go ahead and make an instinct roll and spend a hope for your fly-like abilities to try and find a place with no dead bodies.
Okay, so Lord of the Flies. Wait, what happens? Okay, anyway. Okay, so an instinct check.
Yes.
Instinct. +2, because the Lord of the Flies. And roll. Ooh, 25 with hope. Whew.
25 with hope. So, that's 2 successes. The countdown is down to 10. For context, you didn't take a long rest but near than I, so I am out of fear completely. So there's very few mean things I can do to you yet.
Right.
So as you find yourself heading up the cliff, what strange formations are the stones in front of you arranged in?
Ooh, what strange formations. Well, I mean, from a distance, they appear to be round boulders, but as you get closer, they actually appear to every single one of them have 20 sides.
So, with the strange geometric, almost like barium-style rock formations, each one of them almost perfect, almost carved, you do see that there's large metal rods stabbed into the sides of the cliff from pythons left behind from the previous group of climbers. And at this point, you're pretty high up, because it's not like there's a clean trail up through the mountains. There is some like actual rock climbing going on, and you do have a small child in a Nezuko basket on your back. So, what would you like to use next to attempt to climb? So how it works is, typically with a group, I would use the skill challenge rules of when you use the same skill repeatedly, the odds of success increase slightly. I'm going to implement that here as well. So if your same approach is to constantly look for spots, the difficulty of doing it will slightly increase each time you use the exact same approach.
No, see, I do happen to be an amateur gardener. So I'm hoping I can find some vines or other foliage that would help assist with the climbing.
I'll allow it, but I'll have that one be a knowledge check.
All right. Knowledge. +2. Roll in an 18. Oh, a critical success.
So, with a critical success, that is 3 more successes as you manage to... You're starting to like get into a nice parkouring rhythm. Like you're starting to almost see like the areas from the pythons light up as you're jumping from python to python. God of Warring, hammering your way up this mountain. And you get to like a small landing of sorts, an area to take your breath. Not quite like You could try and rest here, but really it's about a 5 by 5 bit of space.
Right, right.
But you do see a carving in the rock. What ominous
Uh-oh.
warning did a previous adventurer leave?
What ominous warning did a previous adventurer leave?
Mm.
Ooh. Hmm. Well, I mean, so there seems to be little carvings of four-sided pyramids, and he's leaving me an ominous warning that these four-sided pyramids, they're not exactly caltrops, but he's like, watch out uh, for the ones.
Got it. So with the dice-themed ascent up this mountain, which will now probably be named the Geometric Hills in my future campaigns, what is your next line of approach?
Okay, is the air getting thin, or what's the air like in where we are at?
You're definitely getting pretty substantially high up. I would say the air isn't so much getting thin yet as it's getting brisk
Hmm.
as you get higher from the tropical swamp below.
Okay, I mean this might be a little bit of a stretch, but I have this being dead ability, um, and dead people are generally quite cold. So I'm wondering if like my
Be-
experience from being dead would help me find warm paths that can take me up the mountainside.
I'm going to say it's not going to help you find warm paths, but it means you don't get as affected from being cold. So I will allow it.
Ah,
Go ahead and either make agility or strength.
I'm going to go with agility for no particular reason. Rolled a 14 with fear. Ooh.
All right. So as you continue your parkouring goodness, and at this point there's 6 left on the counter to get to the top, you do
Mm.
see the best way you can put it is you know what a human rib cage looks like. But it looks like
Mm-hmm.
one human fell from high enough to get their ribs lodged in the orbital sockets of a skull below them.
Oh.
As you see a pile of about 3 or 4 skeletons crunched on each other.
Oh.
So, my question for you
Okay, sorry, go
is,
ahead.
what
Mhm.
lives in these walls that might try and scare adventurers into falling? Because it looks like from the angles that they jumped off the cliff to get away from something. What are you afraid is up here?
Ooh. Um. Well, so I've heard tales of a psychic beast that connects to geometric shapes like a bolos thing, and like spins them around like tops to like saw at people.
Interesting. All right.
To keep with the dice theme, I'm imagining that they would be like D10s on either side of like a psychic rope.
I enjoy that very much so. So, what would you like to do? What is your next line of approach to climb this mountain?
Okay. Well, my next line of approach, I'd like kind of like to inspect the skeletons to see if I can determine how long they've been dead and what kind of damage was done to them, so that I can try and avoid that as I climb.
I'll have that be a knowledge roll or an instinct roll, your choice.
I'll be instinctive about it. Being dead. And roll. Ooh, another, well, 15, but with fear.
15
Ooh.
was fear. So as you get ever higher, and the air at this point is starting to get thin, with the dramatic dice having a 5 on it, and me sitting at an
Mm-hmm.
impressive 2 fear. You're climbing, you're like, okay, I have to watch out for psychically tethered boulders. I have to watch out for something that's rustling up above. And at this point, I'm going to have you. I'm going to spend a fear. As one
Uh-oh.
of your handholds gives way and you begin to fall.
Oh dear.
What are you doing?
Okay, so what do I got? I got
And know that a fall
I
from this height will probably be around 13d12 damage.
Yeah, no, see, I got a long tongue, so can I use my tongue to try and catch myself and stop myself from falling?
Go ahead and roll finesse for the tongue.
And roll finesse. Wow! 15 with fear.
I will happily take my fear. You did not lose any progress as you immediately flink, gex the gecko your way, grab onto a rock, shake a bit. You don't love that nearly happened. You saw your life flash before your eyes a little bit. You're not in great physical shape right now.
I am not. Whew.
I mean, it would be really funny to just have you fall from a cliff and that's your character dies and it's time to make a new one live. But we agreed to this. We canonically agreed that if you died, we just keep going and that character is dead.
That would be true, yeah.
Alright, Spotlight is yours. What would you like to do?
Okay. So I'm climbing. Okay. Are there still pythons?
Yes. They're looking odd and rusted.
Have not been. Have they been here a long time? I see.
Yes, you feel like they've been here for years. Which means they're wedged in there pretty good.
Fair enough. And so would being dead apply to, say, searching for signs of blood or any sort of scrapes or anything on the side of the mountain and the pythons to see what pathways people have failed to climb up on?
A little obscure, but I'll allow it.
All right. So I used a hope. Okay, so
I would say
what am I
feels
rolling?
that feels knowledge.
Knowledge. Okay, I see. All right. Roll. Ooh, a 14, still with fear.
So, happily take that fear. There's a certain kind of moss that grows on these cliff sides based on moisture and iron found in humanoid blood. And by the patterns of this moss, it looks like something slammed something into the side of the cliff so hard that it splattered the blood into the wall before it sadly tumbled down to its death.
Oh, dear.
So, with that bit of nerve, I'm going to spend a fear, and you just kind of hear what it might be the wind, it might be a gentle noise, but you hear something in the distance. Movement's back to yours. I'm down to 2 fear again. I think I'm down to 1 fear, actually. But something is, you feel like something slams its prey into the side of cliff walls.
I see. And with that roll, did I kind of determine if it has like a specific like territory, or if it's just like all along the side of the mountain there's just bloody moss?
You're feeling like you've gotten high enough up that you're now in its territory.
I'm in its territory. Okay.
You're also on the side of a cliff. And you've been climbing for 5 hours at this point.
Can I use my amateur gardener trait to determine whether or not the blood moss is edible and would give me more energy to climb more efficiently?
That is so dumb. Go ahead and roll finesse, and I'll allow it. As you nutrient tried to protein load on moss to cross this journey.
Critical success! Yeah!
So, you have your mossy snack. And with that, the D12 is down to a 2. You clear a stress and gain a hope. As you're
nice.
like, you literally just not, like, I could and just start eating the wall moss that's grown on fleshy blood for the energy boost. It is very high in protein and iron.
That's kind of what I figured, but, I just figured I would double check first, so.
Yeah. So you're getting pretty close to the top right now.
All right.
If you roll well, this could be your last roll to get to the top of this mountain.
Well, I'm running out of ideas on how to apply my skills, so I think I'm just going to try and just, with the energy from my mossy snack, try and just make that final burst as fast as I can.
Go ahead and roll agility.
Roll 18 with fear.
18 with fear. So you do make it to the top, and you're about 6,000 feet in the air at this point after a full ass day of climbing with almost supernatural strength. So I'm going to go ahead and spend a fear. So you're on the top of this, and you're going to have to like climb down the other side basically.
Right.
But it's kind of interesting. Now that you're at the top of this cliff, you can kind of see this tall mountain and another peak in the distance, and way down below Worm's Hearth Crossing, like almost like it formed an arch.
Oh.
And once upon a time, it formed an arch. But you've climbed to the top of this, and you see in the distance a giant eagle slowly flapping towards you. It's either a really it's either a really small eagle that's not far away, or a really big eagle that's a fair distance away. And you're sitting at about, like, to put into a tile's perspective, about 4 tiles worth of square footage on the top of this plateau here.
I see.
And you do see a flag, Haven flag, stagged into the ground, blowing dramatically in the wind. Enchanted, so it's always blowing dramatically in the wind.
Does there appear to be anywhere to hide from this giant eagle?
You tell me.
So you said that it's like a plateau that looks like it kind of used to arc over the town that's been destroyed. Well, I mean, I would assume that there's some more of the dice-shaped rubble. Although, actually, now that I'm remembering the ominous warning, I am going to search for caltrops.
You do see caltrop-shaped rocks around. No actual caltrops. Yeah, you're about 6,000 feet in the air.
Yeah, no, so, I mean, I'm going to try and find some rubble that doesn't have too many caltrop-shaped rocks on it, around it, and see if I can hide amongst the rubble until this eagle passes.
Go ahead and roll a finesse check for me.
Finesse. That is a 12 with hope. Woohoo!
So, 12 with hope. The hope is great. The 12, not quite as much. So, you're hidden, but you look, and the eagle is approaching, and you feel like it sees you. I'm going to go ahead and have it do a deadly dive towards you.
I see. That's bad news bears.
Indeed, it's like you climbed a mountain after fighting a bunch of wizards. Does a 2 beat your evasion?
A 2 does not beat my evasion. So,
you see it just swoop towards you and just crumble, it slams into the rocks next to you. You're like, oh god! It's in very close range. Massive 13 to 20 foot wingspan. Giant bird of prey with bloodstained talons. Glaring at you as the delicious meal you are. But action is yours, and I only have 1 fear remaining.
Okay, well, I mean, first things first. I mean, I probably should have done this before I climbed the mountain, but I have the Rogue's Hope, where I can spend 3 hope to gain +2 to my evasion.
I'll say you applied that already. I'll let you retroactively have that.
Oh, okay. Actually, okay. And then, yeah. Oh no, that's the Witherwild thing. Okay. Well, I guess I'm just gonna try and stab this eagle in the eye.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna try and shoot the eagle in the eye and get the bonus from my dagger.
I'll allow it.
So I roll with that, and I can add this, right? Oh, +2. Okay, so anyway, roll a 16 with hope. Does that hit?
It does.
Okay, and then calculate damage. Oh. Okay, so Oh no, I don't. That's not what I wanted to do. I guess I just want to roll some dice, which is. Oh no, I clicked the. Right, so 2d6 plus 1, and then I can add this. No, it didn't add it automatically. Okay. 2d6 plus 3 because I get plus 2 to weapon damage with my crossbow because I also shiv him
Yeah.
with an 11.
So as you shoot and shiv him, you manage to do 2 points of damage towards this bird. That doesn't seem super durable, but it does seem super pissed. So you shot it, and it hurt it. It hurt it pretty bad.
Oh dear.
And you have the feeling that you only were able to hit it because it was still grounded at the time. So I'm going to spend one of my last remaining fear to have it take up off the ground and be flying dramatically. And it's going to attempt to stab you with its talons.
Oh dear.
Do. Roll, damn you. Does a 14 hit you?
A 14 does not.
So you just see these talons towards you, but it is flying above you right now, which will make it a little more difficult to hit. But it is about half dead.
Well, I mean, so that means I can't get the bonus damage from my dagger for shooting it, right?
Unless you jump in point, like if you make it sound cool enough, I'll allow it. Like if you throw your dagger and ricochet an arrow off it or some cool shit like that.
No, I think I'm just gonna set some aim. I'm gonna try and shoot this eagle with my crossbow.
All right.
Because take aim and fire. 14 with fear.
It swoops and you just missed, and I'll take my fear point. I'm going to mark another one of its stress to have it do a deadly dive.
Uh-oh.
15.
My evasion is 15, so if it meets, it beats?
I believe so.
Okay.
So that is damage. Click. Roll. That is 12 points of physical damage.
I'm going to use a armor slot and reduce that to only minor damage and take 1 hit point.
How rough are you looking?
I got 2 hit points remaining.
So as it knocks you over, you're currently vulnerable.
Oh,
which
that's
means
not good.
While you're vulnerable, you're scrambling, you're off your guard, you're not doing good. All rolls targeting you have advantage.
Uh-oh.
However, you're vulnerable until you next act.
Uh-huh.
Which is now. So you're no longer vulnerable.
And what range is the bird?
It kind of did like a shove you down, fly away situation, so it's within close range.
Okay. Can I? I'm gonna attempt to shoot with my crossbow, but can I grab my dagger with my tongue and try and stab him with my dagger at the same time?
That is the exact kind of awesome nonsense I will allow and live for.
All right. Come on, something cool. 17 with fear.
If it wasn't flying, you would have got it.
Really?
As it flaps its wings and just gets slightly out of range. Ever so close. So now power passes back to me.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to have it do a deadly dive towards you. Using up, it only has 1 stress remaining. Do with that knowledge what you will. Does a 14 hit you?
A 14 does not.
As it slams...
Oh, wait, no. I got hit, so...
You did get hit.
14 does hit me.
As it slams into you for 5 damage.
I'm going to mark an armor slot and make that to 0 damage.
Okay, make an agility reaction roll.
So hope and fear don't matter?
Correct.
Okay.
They never took my feedback and made reaction rolls d20s. They should have.
16.
So, you failed by 1 in this circumstance and are restrained. Which
Uh-oh.
means you cannot move until this condition is cleared, but you can still take actions from your current position as its massive talons grapple around you, and he immediately lifts up into the air very far range above the battlefield while holding you.
Oh dear. So if I kill it, I would fall to my death?
We'll see. Well, you'd be fallen. That's for sure. To your death, that's on you to figure out.
Right. Okay. Well, does it still have the extra? Well, I guess I wouldn't know for sure, but since I'm in its talons, if I were to say use my rain of blades,
Well, it
would I
says,
have?
while flying, this adversary gets +3 bonus to their difficulty. I think it's still
Hmm.
flying while you're grappled in its talons. I see your logic, but no.
Yeah. Okay.
If you pulled
Well,
a Saitama and like flipped the ground upside down so the sky was the ground and the ground was the sky, then maybe.
Okay. You said I'm very far range above?
Yes.
And it's still nighttime?
Correct.
So I'm within the eagle's shadow? Yes, no?
So you specifically had your like big action happen during sunset, which the sun's set now. I'm gonna say being very far range, which in Daggerheart is you are 300 feet from the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you could really tell if it was its shadow or just like you can't.
Yeah. Okay. So there's.
Let's put it this way. So your ability you're trying to use is Shadow Step, right?
Basically, yes.
So I'm not certain if you can Shadow Step while restrained, because restrained's wording verbatim is you can't move until this collection is cleared. What exactly, word for word, does Shadow Step say in the circumstance?
You can move from shadow to shadow. You are right.
Read the full effect. I'm trying to decide how much pity/hatred to use here.
You can move from shadow to shadow. When you move into an area of darkness or shadow cast by another creature or object, you can mark a stress to disappear from where you are and reappear inside another shadow within far range. When you reappear, you are cloaked.
I mean, you have to move into the shadow. So my logic is because you're restrained under the bird, you can't really move into its shadow because you're in its shadow. So here's my terms and conditions I'm going to use for the shenanigans. Here's my deal I'm going to make you. I will allow you to try and use the spell if you make a finesse check to break free of the bird. However, if you biff it, there could be consequences most dire.
Well, I feel like the consequences are already pretty dire, because I know that this bird slams people into the side of the mountain to kill them. So I'm going for it. Yep. Finesse. Let's go. Oh, 15 with fear.
So you needed a 17.
Yeah, okay.
Turn order applies to me as you try to struggle and break free of being restrained from this bird to then do some sort of shadow stepping shenanigans. I will let you know, it will take, if the fall isn't prevented during the PC's next action is when they hit the ground normally, but you're also on top of a mountain, so you would have some time while falling to not die. But I'm going to have it just try and close the claws around you.
Okay.
Does a 13 hit you?
It does not. 13 is my evasion, so yeah, it hits me.
All right. 6 points of damage.
I take 1 hit point. Ooh.
As it's just closing the talons around you. And it is your move.
So it hasn't actually dropped me yet.
No, but it did fly another distance.
I see.
With your earlier rolls of exploring the nature and the domains, you feel like it wants to eat you, so it doesn't want to drop you to your death if it can avoid it. It would rather just slam you into a wall and then eat you.
But I don't have any sort of healing potion or anything.
It's pretty stressed out and kind of sore.
Okay. So you'll have to remind me on the rules. I have the devouring dagger in my inventory, which I didn't equip because it's a primary weapon.
You can spend a stress to switch your weapons.
I'm going to spend a stress to switch my weapon to the primary to the devouring dagger, and I'm going to stab it with my devouring dagger.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack.
Devouring dagger, come on, something good. Oof, that's only a 9 with hope.
Nope. But turn order's still yours as you try and stab at it. So I have a question for you, and I want you to answer honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Is there still a small child on your back, or did she climb out to sit for a moment when you made it to the top of this plateau?
She climbed out to sit for a moment after climbing the mountain. Yeah.
Okay. So she can't help you in this moment. If she was still on your back, she could.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm gonna attempt to stab it with the devouring dagger once again.
Go ahead and make your attack.
Oh, 14 with fear.
That is unfortunate. It's yeah, because it's very much still flying.
It is very much still flying. Yes.
All right, so I have 2 fear at my disposal. You're feeling pretty rough in its grasp. It's just gonna try and finish closing those talons and just kind of shake you a bit.
Okay.
Does a 12 hit you?
It does not. Whew.
As it's just closing the claws and rattling you back and forth. And at this point, it's continuing to just kind of fly up and away.
Right.
And turn order is yours. The cliff is no longer below you, by the way. You're just kind of above the river heading north.
Okay, so...
So you're about 6,000... I'm trying to figure out exactly how far up you are. You're 6,000 plus 3,000 plus 300. Yeah, you're about 7,000 feet in the air now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, even if she had a crossbow, she wouldn't be able to shoot from this range.
Okay. Can I use my being dead trait to pretend like it actually did kill me with that last talon grasp?
Go ahead and roll presence.
Okay. I mean, the being...
Oh, it's so good. I want this for you. I really do.
That is a 20 with fear.
That was you just stop moving and let your breathing go real low. Let your heart rate go real low. This is the thing you've done a couple times at this point in this adventure. It just stops crushing you and just flying. And now
I'm kind of hoping it'll return somewhere near the mountaintop, but yeah.
So
we'll see where it takes me.
Okay, let me check. How far does an eagle fly in a day? Yes, I'm literally looking how far an eagle flies. So describe a few things you see below you out of your half-closed eye.
Well, I mean, I assume I see a variety of roads and pathways that had led to and from the trading center that was Wormhearth.
Mhm.
But mostly I would assume that it's just the this scary like forest with eyes, and I can see the rustling of large beasts in the trees below, and probably the winding of the river.
So, this is deeply unfortunate, but according to my quick Google search, I'm going to have you roll a. Go ahead and roll 2d10 for me.
2d10. Rolled a 6.
So, it flies for 6 hours.
Oh my.
Really? Out of 2d10, you got single digits and got a 6?
Yeah.
Ah, that's. So apparently, an eagle can fly for several days.
Wow.
So, you were carried by the eagle for 6 hours. That's not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
About
Right,
200.
right.
You made it about 200 miles away from where you started.
Mm.
As it begins to lower down, and you see what looks like a nest of wire and twigs and branches, and you hear as you see 4 giant eagle chicks in this nest.
Oh dear.
As the large eagle is slowly approaching, you're about, I don't know, I guess say if you want to take an action now you can, or you can continue to play dead. But you can see the ground, it's in range. You
Mm.
would fall, the ground is about very far range right now.
I see. Oh man, poor Lyra. Now she's left alone on the top of a mountain.
That is what
I have
happened,
no idea
yes.
how. I have no idea how I'm going to rescue her. But and I'm coming up to the nest.
Yep, you can see them in the distance. So for context, I basically set a 5-turn timer, and you go very far, far, close, very close, melee. So you got like, that's about how long till you land in the nest to be devoured by baby birds, being part of the circle of life.
Um,
As many a frog before you.
so if I were to attack the bird now, would I have an advantage?
I would say so. It's forgot. It doesn't think you're alive. I would give you a d6 advantage on that. That seems to be reasonable. I am not going to give you a short rest because it's hard to relax in bird talons.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
I thought about it. It was 6 hours. I thought about letting you take a nap, but not in this circumstance, I'm afraid. Although this is really funny.
Okay. Well, um,
So you can tell me
once I am
how close you want to be.
once I'm within far range,
About 30 to
I
100 feet
want
away.
I want to attempt to stab it again with my dagger.
You can make your attack with advantage.
Attack with advantage.
Which in this game is adding an extra d6 to the roll.
Yeah, 22 to hit. With fear though.
That'll hit. I will take that fear.
But the target must also mark a stress.
It is fully stressed out. Which in this
Does
context, that
Hmm?
means... I'm just trying to remember exactly the wording here. It is now vulnerable, causing it to... All rolls targeting it have advantage.
Okay, so now I roll for damage, which I also get the advantage from my little small dagger. So roll for damage. +2 for the small dagger. 14 damage.
14 damage. Okay. So, as you just stab it here, as you jag these daggers into its neck, and it flips side down and starts plummeting towards the ground, the giant eagle deceased. You have about 1 action before you hit the ground, which you, as you mentioned, you're still at far range. So you're still looking at specifically about a 30 to 100 foot drop still.
Right. Well, while I'm falling, I'm hoping to be able to actually use my shadow step ability to teleport into a tree.
You'd have to be able to move into a shadow to teleport into another shadow.
Hmm.
I'm not saying no, I'm saying explain this to me.
Well, okay, so I have to be able to...
Yeah, you basically have to enter a shadow to exit another shadow.
I see.
Portal gun logic.
That makes sense. Well, I guess I have to wait until we're within the tree line in order to teleport out of its grasp and hopefully into a different tree.
Well, it no longer has you held tightly, because it's dead.
Ah.
But your plan is to ride into the tree line, jump into the shadow under a tree, and then teleport out to another tree?
Yeah.
So that's going to be a finesse roll, and if you fuck this up, you're just hitting the ground full speed.
Okay, finesse. Would I be able to apply Amateur Gardener as I search for branches and stuff that would help break my fall and or be good to land on?
I hate that I'm letting you do this. This feels like some higher tier than amateur gardening, Karl, but I'll allow it.
19 with hope.
So as you're like basically surfing on this eagle down towards the ground and you barrel roll into a tree, capturing momentum and landing outside of another tree, make an agility reaction roll to just kind of... You still have the momentum, right? Like you jump through a portal and you're coming out of a portal closer to the ground.
All right. Agility reaction roll. 19.
19. Oh wait, reaction, sweet. So you roll through, off the bat, you basically, this eagle flips side down, you jump off the eagle, roll into a shadow attached to a tree, roll out from another tree, as the eagle hits the ground with a thud. You're good?
I'm good.
You've landed.
All right.
And you hear in the distance, within far range, there's
tiny,
4 baby eagles. They're about the size of a cow.
Jeez, they're big baby eagles.
They're baby giant eagles.
Well, I mean, I really, really need to take a rest. So I need to try and see if I can find a way to like hide myself in these trees and rest in the trees.
All right, just make a simple finesse roll to take a tree nap.
Finesse of 13 with hope.
Okay, roll a d20 for me.
D20. Ooh. And rolled. 17.
So, as you find yourself up in the trees and the shadows, kind of like tie yourself down a bit so you don't fall, and pass out. What number did you roll again?
17.
So you wake up about 17 hours later, having enjoyed your long rest.
All right. Whew.
Because you didn't you passed the out.
Downtime. Long rest. 10 dull wounds. And clear all stress. My armor is still pretty fucked up, but... Yes, reset my... Okay. Confirm. Whew. Okay. All right. Passed the fuck out, and now I'm feeling a lot less stressed and a lot less dead.
And you did have a bird carry you for days.
Apparently not for days. I managed to get single digits.
And roll a d4 for me, please.
Oh, I shouldn't have goaded you. I got a 1.
So I gained 2 fear, bringing me to a net total of 4 fear. Because it is a d4 plus the number of players, and there is one of you.
All right. Woo.
So you found yourself on an unrelated mountain, 6-hour flight from where you were, through a shape-shifting forest, in the middle of the night, after being dropped from a bird, on top of an unrelated mountain. What would you like to do?
Oh, wow. Well, that is a very good question because Yeah, Lyra's probably dead. Oh dear.
And it wasn't like you walked 6 hours away. You were flown 6 hours away.
Yeah.
Which could have been real bad if you got a 99 on the dice and were flown 99 hours away. As you start taking stress points from just being in the air exhausted for too long.
Well, so I assume I'm relatively high up in the tree.
Yeah.
Can I see any roads and pathways?
Roll a instinct roll for me.
Instinct. 8 with fear. Whew,
The
not good.
Witherwild is a primeval wood where nature's fury and spirit magic are both palpable and untamed. In the distance you see massive fungi and iridescent spores carpeting the lower floor, vines twisting into skeletal trees. The forest stretches far beyond sight in every direction, its edges lost to memory. Amidst trees choked by the strangling vines, creating a cathedral of living wood. Where there were paths, they twist and fork under the dangling bioluminescent moss. The air is thick and humid with the scent of decay, and hear "Goosh!" as about 2 days in the distance, a bolt of lightning arcs out of a mountain.
Oh dear.
As it just erupts thunder and glitter.
Sheesh. Well, so it's still permanent night, which means I probably don't want to be down on the forest floor. Like, Well, I'm not a big fan of the lightning, but at the same time, perhaps that means that there's some form of civilization in that direction. So I'm gonna start swinging from treetop to treetop as best I can to try and head in that direction.
So what's interesting is with your bit of knowledge of geography, you're aware of the Thundering Mountains. They're a pretty common landmark. And that means you're heading to the borderline of Lord Ed's territory. The city of Allura was near the southern edge of his territory, and a few days past that would be the Thundering Mountain. So this did bring you about 3 days closer to your destination. More or less.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that's the direction I'm heading. I hope that's... But like I said, I don't really want to be on the ground of the forest because predators tend to be on the ground.
Alright, so go ahead and roll... I'm going to say finesse to try and Naruto tree to tree your way through this.
Finesse.
Or agility.
9 with hope.
So you're trying to parkour, but you're like... It turns out trying to jump tree to tree will take you forever. This is not a feasible way of moving through these woods.
I see.
Like, you made it a decent distance, but you're going about half of your normal travel speed at best. Roll a d20 for me, please.
Roll another d20, alright. 9.
So, you look up in the sky, and you see some glowing fireflies. And it's like, almost like a constellation. And it's like you can almost see the glyphs of language. What name do they spell out that you're not sure if you're hallucinating it?
Oh, they definitely spell out Lyra's name.
And then you see them.
I'm having some serious survivor skills.
Would you like to follow the fireflies?
Sure. I'll follow the fireflies.
So as you eventually you'll have to mark a stress if you want to continue to tree jump.
I'll mark a stress. I really don't want to go down to the ground.
All right. So as you manage to, I'll spend a fear for you marking that stress. Fair is fair. As you manage to parkour your way through the woods, you do find yourself to a mysterious glade, a bit of peace in this, quite frankly, brutal chunk of land. And from here you see... Give me a second. In the middle of this glade, surrounded by almost black water, is a colossal twisted ironwood tree, black as midnight, whose gnarled trunk rises about 200 feet into the air. Because
Okay.
from where the eagle nest was, which was on a cliff with a massive tree going around it, you've since like parkoured down the tree, and
Mm-hmm.
now have found a second tree. Its branches form an archway above a mossy clearing,
Mm.
and it seems to hum softly.
Um, can I use my amateur gardener skill to determine whether or not that is the tree itself or some sort of animal?
Roll a knowledge check.
Knowledge with my gardening skill. That is a 16 with fear.
It appears to be a tree, and I'm going to spend a fear as the trees rustle ominously. We see
Uh-oh.
within its trunk at an angle a weathered spiral staircase,
Ooh.
and the leaves are dripping a sweet sap.
Well, I mean, I've come this far on hallucination that it might maybe somehow teleport me back to her, so I'm going to climb the staircase.
So you see crumbling murals of night skies and deer lords decorating the walls of this tree. And what's interesting is there's almost like a permanent veil of pre-dawn gloom clinging to the shadow of this tree.
Hmm.
You take a look at your compass, and it just is spinning in circles.
Oh.
And you seem to be in this tree.
And the staircase continues up and
Yeah,
into the tree more.
yeah.
I'm just going to keep climbing the staircase.
So as you climb for a while. It's a pretty colossal tree.
Mm-hmm.
And you see some shittering darkness. And then once you get to the top, you see like a circle of mushrooms. And
Ooh.
sitting in the very center looks like it's about 7 to 10 feet tall with a singular eye. Wings from its
Ooh.
back that look like a bunch of interwoven together bones. Long, seven-fingered hands and gnarled, curled nails. And a huge
Mm.
smile. As you walk up to this floor, no sound is being made. You can't hear your own breathing or your own heartbeat. And it's looking
Okay.
directly at you.
Um.
And you see bones scattered around.
I am going to. Can I use my Lord of the Flies to see if anything has died recently here?
Go ahead and roll a knowledge check.
Knowledge. Roll. 13 with hope.
So it looks like these bones have been treated and bleached and scrubbed clean.
Huh. Okay.
Like a collection.
Um. So I'm going to spend 3 hope to activate my rogue hope, the +2 bonus to evasion. And then I'm just going to gracefully bow before this strange creature.
It gracefully bows back.
Okay. Forgive me for disturbing you, oh great spirits.
You open your
I have
mouth and no
been.
sound comes out.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
I see. Um,
It's like
do
you've
I
gone
have a
completely deaf or mute. You're not sure.
do I have a pen and paper in my basic supplies?
You specifically, with all your forgery and shenanigans? Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You seem like you
So
would.
I am going to write it a note saying, "Forgive me for disturbing you, O great spirit. Uh, I have been carried a great distance by a giant eagle, and I am looking for a way to return to my companion in the mountains by Worm Hearth."
So in crimson ink, in the most beautiful calligraphy you've ever seen, it says, "Welcome to my home. I take payment for blessings in bone.
Oh, I see. I don't have any spare bones.
Not any spare ones.
I'm not really sure I want to give up an arm for this, but a blessing would be nice. I've already come a very great distance from the giant eagle's corpse.
And your character isn't the type that's been harvesting body parts because he's been specifically traveling light.
Yeah. What can I... This thing takes payment in bones, eh?
You are faced with the Tooth Fairy's older brother, the Bone Fairy.
Well, I guess... I guess I have to write him a note and say... that alas, I have no offering for you. If you would be so kind, I shall take my leave. Sorry to have disturbed you.
And crimson ink the note reads, but you have 206 offerings. Please leave one on your way out the door.
Okay. I guess. I guess I'll write him another note. Would my toes be a sufficient offering for your aid in returning home?
It responds, to return home, no. To gain my favor, yes. A toe will let you leave. Another moves swiftly. Another moves silently.
Okay. Well, I guess. I mean, this appears to be a powerful spirit, and those are good blessings. So I both in order to leave and also because those are sufficiently desirable blessings, I will cut off 3 of my toes.
So, as you go to pull the knife to cut off your toes, it waves its hand as your foot begins to rattle. You feel your skeleton trying to leave your body as the bones rip themselves free of your foot. You lose 3 hit points.
Oof. Boom.
But you can go ahead and add a Ring of Silence to your inventory.
Ooh, nice.
As you are in unfathomable pain.
But no one can hear my screams.
This is true. This is accurate.
Ring of Silence. Okay. Spend a hope. To activate this ring, your footsteps are silent until your next rest. Pretty good.
Yeah. As you politely leave the tree, avoiding that confrontation. As every step is unyielding pain.
Yeah, my toe bones were just from my feet.
As you look over, you see like little pixies with like a brush cleaning them nicely.
I give a wince, a painful bow towards them, and hobble down the stairs.
No issue, except the immense unyielding pain. As you have exited the Ebon Bower.
Well, I am going to spend a hope to activate my ring.
Yep. So, this ring's a little better than a typical Ring of Silence. It's not just footsteps. All noise coming off you is stopped until you turn the ring off.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a very good Ring of Silence. It only costs you a foot.
Enhanced Ring of Silence.
Hmm. What would you like to do with your remaining 203 bones? And as you leave the tree, some of that like permanent gloom that seems to surround it is almost like clinging to you like a cloak.
Mm.
And you feel at least temporarily you'll be very well hidden.
Well, I mean, now that I can travel along the forest floor silently, I guess I'm just gonna keep heading towards the Thundering Mountains in hopes that I can find my way to Alora.
Go ahead and roll a instinct check to travel through the exact middle of the woods in what could be the most confusing woods feasible.
An instinct check. Would my amateur gardener feat apply?
I'll allow it. Burn that hope.
Burn the hope. 16 with hope. Woohoo!
Okay. So as you're heading through the woods, further and further away from Haven's influence, I'm gonna have you go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
Oh boy. D20s don't sound good in this game. That is a 1.
I see. So,
The best possible option?
as you're heading through, you see some sticky, glowing berries growing on the side of the path. They look delicious.
Hmm. They're sticky and they glow.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use my Lord of the Flies to see what kind of insects have been around here and or attracted to these berries?
I'll allow it with a knowledge check. We're gonna have to roll pretty high. This is a bit of a stretch.
Oh, I only rolled an 11 with hope.
You see a bee the size of a corgi fly by.
Hmm. Well, I'm going to attempt to pick one of these berries.
It doesn't give you any trouble. You're holding a berry.
And you know what? I am kind of hungry. I've been sleeping for like 17 hours. So I'm going to eat the berry.
You restore a hit point.
All right. Then I'm just going to continue on my way.
All right. As you continue, going seemingly at random through the Witherwild with no trail or path, heading towards a large mountain in the distance that occasionally shoots up bolts of lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll a d100 for me.
A D100.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have an option on this character roller here.
Oh, all right. Then I'll let it be a d20 instead.
18.
So 18 days pass.
Oh my.
As imagine you, current Karl, being dropped in the middle of Bath National Park.
Yeah, that wouldn't be very good.
But as you go through the woods, days pass, days turn to nights, chaos among occasional ancient gods and temples, the occasional bear and cubs. The wind stirs a broken altar grove. The PTSD hasn't quite lifted as you occasionally hear whispers of Lyra on the breeze. You do see what appears to be 2 catfolk sitting on a log by a river fishing.
Oh, finally, people. I'm going to approach them.
What? Where'd you come from?
I was carried here by the giant eagle. I barely managed to escape its grasp, and I've been lost in the woods for weeks. Can you help me find civilization?
You see the 2 catfolk look at each other, look at you, look how completely ruined every aspect of you looks at this point. Like, here, and one of them just like hands you a tuna sandwich.
Oh, yeah, I gracefully accept and then devour the sandwich.
It is delicious. It is the best sandwich you have ever eaten. And the other's like, come on, come with. He like puts an arm on your shoulder, just kind of guides you along. So as you walk for about two hours ish, You see in the distance what looks like a whole bunch of little rope bridges in the canopy, a thick nest of trees with woven nets and carved platforms, lantern flowers blooming gently around each dwelling, and several catfolk with bows drawn pointed down at you. You have managed to
Oh dear.
find the village of Allura. And by find the vision of Allura, I mean in 17 days you finally stumbled across any local beings in this woods to lead you towards a settlement.
Oof. Wow.
And you see that
that's
the main entrance appears to be like a rope and pulley elevator on the ground.
Hmm.
And you hear one of the catfolk go, "Oi, we found a lost one. He's looking real rough." And the other cat goes, "He smells real bad." And the one's up in there, "Halt, stranger, what business you have here, if you have any, and aren't just screwed?"
well, so I still have a badge, right?
Yes.
And
I will
I
say,
will,
though, you do know
Hmm?
that the city of Allura is not under Imperial control.
Right. Where's my notes? Journal. And I have been. Right.
Make an instinct reaction roll, please.
An instinct reaction roll. That is a 16.
You see a short, probably like 13, 14-year-old catfolk, bright orange color with their hand in your coin purse.
Excuse me, little fella. That's not a very nice way to greet
Scampers away
someone.
into the woods.
Okay, so I've been sent here by.
Your original mission was to try and find the Fane Wraith, a local terrorist, and you're sent here by Kern Dern, the spy master of Haven.
Right.
And these are the first people to see your original form. Unless you were maintaining an illusion for the last 17 days in the woods.
Oh, no, I'm definitely not.
I would be impressed of the commitment. I'd let you have it retroactively and be in character.
No, I'm not worried about keeping up appearances. Like, now that I've been lost in the woods for 18 days, anyone following me has been long lost.
Could you imagine the poor person stalking you when an eagle just grabs you and flies off the mountain in a random direction, and then, like, a day later falls? And then just moving randomly in the woods for nearly a month.
So, I guess... I don't mean to be too bold, but I heard that there was something of a resistance forming around near this town, and I came to look into it and see if perhaps I could lend my services and join.
Roll a presence check, but with disadvantage because nothing about your current visage screams, "I'm here to help fight for the cause."
A 13 with hope. With disadvantage. So I gotta roll a d6 and subtract?
Yep.
Roll a d6 and subtract. Ooh, 7.
One of them looks at you. "Oi, bud, you ain't doing any good out here. Try asking a little nicer."
Well, perhaps it's too little too late. But if you won't let me join the resistance, then could you help me find my way back to Wormhearth?
At this point, the bar rolls their eyes like, you hear whispers, "Wormhearth? Wormhearth is... Do we tell him?" come up, come up. And then they like lead you to this like elevator and point to the crank.
And they want me to crank it?
Yeah.
I guess I will start cranking it.
They only crank it for people they like.
Fair enough.
So as you slowly your way up, and they're just kind of
Mm-hmm.
like, one of them stumbles forward awkwardly, having lost a game of rock, paper, scissors.
Mm.
Looks at you, puts a hand on your shoulder. Wormhearth had a bit of a accident.
An accident? What do you mean?
We're not really sure what happened. There was a flood and a rainstorm, and it's your hometown, bud. You're gonna want a drink for this, and just kind of like brings you to the pub.
Okay.
One of them like slides you a beer. And like, Wormhearth's not on the map anymore.
What? Oh, how is that possible? Was it destroyed by a natural disaster, or how could that be?
Some of our scouts think it was a flood. People blame the Haven wizards because wizards doing wizard things. Our local shamans are pretty sure they angered the spirits and got smoted.
How long ago was this?
Like 2 weeks? 3 weeks? Something like that?
Well, I guess my life was spared by that giant eagle.
Huh.
I swear that's where I was headed next, but if I wasn't, I guess now I'm glad to hear I wasn't there, but my family, my friends, and I'm going to start weeping at the bar.
Roll a presence check, you lying sack of shit.
Oh no! That's only a 6.
So as you're telling the Sam story, your badge just falls on the table.
My badge. No.
I'll spend a fear for that. Your literal Haven soldier badge just tumbles on the table, and they're all just staring directly at you. Mister, I want to join the resistance. Who just fake told like, no, my friends and family were there. Oh no, sob. So at this point, a 7-foot-tall catfolk, seemingly to look like the Maine Coon of catfolks, puts a paw on your shoulder. And then a 4-foot-tall catfolk, dark gray color, with what appears to be like several piano wires attached between brass knuckles, stretches them out, and is directly like puts their arms over like a back hug with this piano wire near your throat. It's like, oi, listen, I'm gonna ask you one time, friend. Who the fuck are you?
Okay. Relief Thimblegord, a friend, someone who has a possible connection to Elroy, was a name I have. Was that the frog folk
Yes.
guy?
The French one, if memory serves, pretending to be an assassin.
Yeah. My name is Relief Thimblegord. I'm a half ribbit, half human, and I do the whole tongue thing to prove that I'm part ribbit.
Roll a presence check. The difficulty has went up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to succeed this. Ooh, critical success! Woohoo!
You see like 2 of them in the back whispering to each other. You see a raccoon on the patio just glaring at you.
Okay. Okay.
And you see one of them, it's like, pss, 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 pss. So, looks at you. I'm gonna ask this one time. Did you what was your connection to Wormhearth?
Well, I was attempting to rebel against the Haven forces there, and I'd stolen the badge to try and gain access to areas that only the guards can't get to. But then I was in the woods planning our next attack when I was grabbed by the giant eagle and carried for several hours and nearly fed to its babies.
Well, you better have something useful that you found in all that snooping about, then. Wire's still pretty close to your neck.
Well, when you say that they angered the spirits, I think they were performing horrendous experiments on a spirit from. I'm going to pull out the map, actually. It's my map, and show them the Forgotten Grove. I'm fairly certain they captured the spirit from this grove, and were using it to protect themselves from natural disasters. But from the sounds of it, that turned on them.
Fucking serves the fuckers right. Got any proof of this?
Let's see. So I don't think I actually collected anything from the spirit, did I?
I think you took some of the notes on the desks, I think. I don't think you took anything off the spirit.
Yeah, so I'm gonna search through my bag and I'm gonna find the notes on the desk and they're like, I think these are notes of their experiments. And
congratulations, you just performed high treason against Haven. As you pull out the note showing the magical circle to bind the spirit, the silver thread, the diagram of a soul being ripped out and shoved into a toaster. You're just like, looking at this map, local area, and just giving them all sorts of juicy information.
Dang it.
One of them goes to you. Honestly? Oi, friend, you did pretty well. As the, wire gets no longer dragged across your throat.
Whew.
So seriously, a giant eagle just grabbed you and flew you here.
Well, it dropped me at a nest, and then I was lost in the woods for, well, apparently, as you say, about 2 weeks.
Well, that's some shitty luck you got there. Why'd you climb the cliffs near Wormheart Crossing instead of just taking a boat down the river?
Well,
seems like that would be much harder.
I was worried I may have been followed, so I wanted to take a more difficult path to ensure that I wouldn't be followed. But clearly, that was a mistake.
I don't know if it was. It seemed like a pretty good plan to me. I feel bad for the poor son of a bitch trailing you as a bird flies away. I'd say you've earned yourself some well-earned leave, friend. And then one of them just picks up the badge off the desk. Mind if we take a look?
Feel free.
And just pockets it and walks away. So the cat folk are pretty convinced you're the spy you said you were. You know, the one who you killed and then threw in the bottom of a river and then blew up the ocean and then pretended to be and flew to another country. Who... It's a pretty good crime until someone actually knows this frog. It's a pretty good crime. So, welcome to the city of Allura, and with that, we'll wrap up this session.
An excellent ending to a terrible session. No, it was a great session, but man, I had some luck.
So, to go, metagame a bit, so no one ever climbs the cliff wall, right? I included it in the adventure, too, as, if someone really wants to say, screw your plot hooks, I'm going to ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, though, on the stat block, I didn't write Giant Eagle, so I spent a couple here to spawn a Giant Eagle.
Mm-hmm.
Giant Eagle's not that dangerous. Tier 2 monster, you're a Tier 2 player.
Mm.
Balanced encounter-wise, it was a fair fight. Except you got shit kicked and some bad rolls, sir.
I sure did. Oh, and I still don't know what I'm going to do about Lyra. I mean, I assume she's not just going to be on the mountaintop for a month.
That'd be hilarious.
Just sitting there waiting for me in her musical basket.
You see, that's why I'm like, is the basket with you? And you're like, no. And I'm like, heroic and dramatically terrible for you. I appreciate the just be dead, just be dead. So for the record, like, while you were falling dramatically, I was going to let you try and do the shadow step. I'm like, the shadow step doesn't get you out of restrained, I don't think. I'm sure comments will come after me and declare me wrong about my ruling.
No, I feel like there is no particular ruling one way or the other. So whatever your rule is fair, because you're the DM and you're the one who's.
Well, I let you get away with it a lot,
story,
right? But... Like, I let you basically pull a Minato and be like, I throw a kunai and then run under my own kunai shadow to tell. Like, I let you do some shenanigans. I'm like, no.
Not this time.
Not when you're 500 feet in the air looking down to the ground. Like, not for free. I'm like, you have to escape being restrained first. That seems reasonable. So, the other party didn't blow up the town, for one thing.
Right.
They did kill the spirit, but they did it in a different way.
Ah.
So the town started taking its homeless people and sacrificing them to power the magic of the town.
Yeah, okay.
So they're doing like a full Haven murder mystery, figuring out who's abducting people to power the magic spell to protect the town. But they went on a side quest to kill a bunch of tooth fairies and then encountered the Bone Fey.
Oh.
And they're doing this epic boat run where they have a crocodile towing a boat as fast as they can while the Bone Fey is hovering behind them trying to rip their bones out.
Okay.
Because they did not try negotiation and writing notes. They did kill it, by the way. They succeeded. But they're traumatized forever. Because, like, yeah, the quest was to kill a bunch of tooth fairies, and they pissed off the Bone Fairy, who tried to rip out their skeletons and choke them with them. Which is it's horrifying. One-eyed, winged, giant clawed, gestures to your skeleton to make your skeleton leave your body. That would have been a particularly rough fight to solo. Not sure if you would have had that one.
No, probably not.
But one of them got the Ring of Greater Silence they made out of its corpse.
Yeah, okay.
So they're like doing murder and so there's 2 sessions they ran since we last ran your session. So the first one was they just went on a side quest and collected some magic mushroom water, which lets them get a glimpse of the future.
Okay.
Fought the Bone Fairies, and then the next one they returned to town, and then instead of leaving town like I thought they would, they decided to start deep investigating the missing homeless people. They decided to deep investigate why the city seemed so happy and expect... So it's like they'd already broken into the wizard lab, and they felt the need to do it again.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm not actually entirely sure they got any lore they didn't have the first time from their second attempt at breaking in.
All right.
But they did manage to do a really smooth assassination of like 3 wizards. Like they put up darkness, silence, and walls, killed them, disintegrated them, swept them up in a dustpan, and then resumed the room.
Okay.
Killed them so dead. So they're like, we got notes. We got more notes. And then they managed to like capture a raccoon. Because people are just immediately suspicious of raccoons now.
That is fair. I was pretty suspicious of the raccoon in the window, but I was busy lying my ass off about who and how the city was destroyed.
I think the funniest thing is, like, you're not a double agent or a traitor. You just were actually the spy they wanted. You went in, stole Haven information, blew up their town, and left. And they took your badge. So if you wanted to defect, it'd be real easy. On account of the fact you've basically done that already.
Yeah, I felt like I couldn't tell this town that I was sent here by the spy master.
Specifically, no. That's terrible spycraft. You were sent to this town to spy on it. Hi, I'm Joey Kopp here on behalf of the LEPD. Can I come in? It's like, no! I do enjoy the original ones being like, how are you? I've been lost in the woods, covered in blood. I'm missing 3 toes. Help me. And you come in, you're like, I'm here to join the resistance. And they're like, are you? Also, way to be like, hey, I'm here to join the terrorist cell to the random citizens outside. They're like, well, that's a narc if I've ever seen one. Hi, I'd like to join ISIS, please. No. So, right?
Well, Leroy was just so like tired and out of it from being lost in the woods for 18 days. Couldn't think of anything better.
Eating random berries he found on the ground that cause mild hallucinations.
Yeah, I decided not to try my luck for more than one.
They absolutely are hallucinogenic. They did not help the time it took you to get home.
Hmm.
But it is funny, though, because it's like, I'll just head towards this mountain through the shape-shifting woods in the middle of... You went through 3-day night cycles out there.
Luckily, my Ring of Greater Silence was able to help me hide from all the dangerous monsters.
Well, the Bone Fey gave you blessings to keep you hidden.
Mm.
You did pay your tithe. I love the part's like, I'm
Nice
taking one of your bones for you to leave. You're like, you can have 2 more, it's fine. Sure. If I'm losing one, I might as well lose a few.
Oh.
But yeah, any thoughts on that? I find it funny that like a lot of the explore countdowns, like the cliffside ascent, was like, yeah, progress of 12. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting to do one-on-one Daggerheart. Clearly this was designed for more like elaborate. But like rules as written, it doesn't say you get penalized for using the same stat repeatedly. But when Critical Role does skill challenges, they're like, if you do the same thing, I make it more difficult. I think that's still the way to do it, because I climb, uses best stat. I'm gonna keep climbing and using my best stat repeatedly. I don't know. I feel like mixing it up a bit is just more fun.
Yeah, well, and then it's like some of my ideas of how to use my skills were maybe a bit tenuous, but it is somewhat fun to try and come up with the ideas to apply the different. Like right now, I only have 3 experiences. I don't know when I'll get more, but
what level are you anyway?
I'm still just level 2.
You can be level 3 now. You've leveled up.
All right. Do we want to do this level up right now, or should I level up in off stream?
Let's level up now. Let's let them experience this process, because I didn't have too much nattering other than because you're in the side quest chunk. You did encounter the Bone Fairy, and that's like really the only like thing that both parties did that were the same, because they didn't get very far from Wormsarth, and on your run there is no Wormsarth.
Okay, so I go to characters.
Yeah.
So we're using the demiplane Nexus, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So the first thing you get when you level up is it adds 1 to each of your thresholds. That just happens on its own.
Okay. Characters, and click on the 3 dots to edit my character.
Yes.
So now I am level 3.
I would say you've killed enough things to get there. Probably should have did that after you killed the wizard, but...
Alright, so for leveling up, I get to make level 2 I already did. Level 3, my level up options are...
So you always get a card.
So the first 2 things it wants me to do is increasing traits, gain HP slot, gain stress slot, increase experiences, choose domain card. So I can choose an additional domain card, or increase evasion, but I can't select increase evasion because I've already selected that once.
Yes. So
but
what are you picking?
I think I need to select an HP slot.
What? No way. I didn't hurt you that bad. I really want to roll the 2 D100s to see how much damage you took from falling.
And I think I'm going to increase my traits this time.
Excellent. You've been doing a lot of instinct, a lot of knowledge. More knowledge than I was expecting, honestly.
For being a rogue, my presence is currently at -1.
That's fine. That's the lore. That's the flavor. I have no problem with you just not actually being a smooth talker. That's funny every
Okay.
time. Who are you? I want to join the resistance. I am this other guy.
Okay, so, but I feel like, okay, so I need to increase my spellcaster trait.
I mean, you don't have to.
Well, it just feels like the best option there. And I feel like I should do agility.
Okay.
All right. And so then, just to be clear, when you increase those traits, the next time I choose to increase traits, I can't increase those ones again, right?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Then I got to choose a domain card. For being level 3, ooh, mark of stress to pull them into a chokehold. Makes them vulnerable. I like the sound of that.
Because I talk a lot on the Daggerheart Discord, if you want to do it like a Shikamaru Shadow Possession, I'd allow it.
Okay.
Because I said I would allow it once upon a time in a Discord server, and now I'm obligated.
I can stun people.
And the thing is, you can take lower level ones too.
Yeah, the level 2 and 1 and 2 ones, I think I got the best ones already for what I'm going for.
Reasonable.
So I can go and I can gain invisibility. Make a spellcast roll 10. Oh, the 10 is the DC. Gotcha. And then on success, mark a stress and choose yourself or an ally within melee range, become invisible. Can't be seen except through magical means. When invisible, takes an action. Okay, so it's like the disguise, but for invisibility.
Mm-hmm.
Veil of Night. Spellcast roll 13.
There's a decent chance you take Veil of Night.
You can create temporary curtain of darkness between 2 points within far range. Only you can see through the darkness. You're going to see hidden adversaries on the other side of the veil, and you advantage on attacks you make through the darkness. The veil remains until you cast another spell. Spellcast roll 13. So that means I need to roll
above a 13.
Well, statistically speaking, it means I need to roll 10 on the dice.
Yeah, which are pretty good.
That is pretty good odds.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the only. Those are the level
Hypnotic
3
Shimmer
ones.
is another one.
I did look at Hypnotic Shimmer. I really like Chokehold.
Look at Chokehold, it's sick.
But Veil of Night does seem.
For the record, the part of the Chokehold that says when a creature attacks a target who's vulnerable this way, they do extra damage, that includes you.
This Veil of Night, though, it's just like a wall of darkness?
Yeah, and you can't see. It's basically literally put up a curtain. And you can see through the curtain and they can't.
Right. That doesn't stop people from moving through the curtain, but then I could just jump the other side and gain the advantage. And yeah, okay.
And if you did that dick move thing, being like, I want to go from the shadow into the curtain I made because it's darkness, I'd be like,
yeah. I do think that one would be very useful.
I mean, I want you to take Chokehold because I just feel like it's gonna be cool.
Like I think I am gonna take Chokehold.
Like at some point, you're gonna get somebody a Chokehold and ask Lyra to stab them. If you ever find her again, you might need a new sidekick.
Okay, but so the question's about the Chokehold. When you're in a position behind a creature who's about your, you can mark a stress to put them in a chokehold, making them temporarily vulnerable. It doesn't say anything about how they escape the chokehold. Would it just be a contest of strength?
So, a lot of effects like that, I spend a fear to escape.
Okay.
So I'd have to spend a fear to have them break free.
Yeah, you know what? I think I am going to take that because that sounds like it'll be very useful.
Yeah, one of the actuallys on the Discord was like, it says behind, but it doesn't say about range. Can I be like medium range, but still behind them and put them in a chokehold? I'm like, no. No, you can't.
To pull them into a chokehold. Yeah, no, that wouldn't really make much sense.
I mean, if they're like Shikamaru shadow possession thing, I want to do like a shadow binding thing, I might let them. If it's sufficiently cool enough.
Okay.
I can see you being like, hey, can I put someone medium range in a chokehold? I'm like, how? You're like, I use my tongue that goes medium range. I'd be like, I'll allow it.
Okay. Lord of the Flies and Being Dead. Like, okay, so you're allowed to adjust your experiences as you go through the adventure based on what you've done.
Yes.
Do you think I deserve to or should adjust these experiences, or do you think that they're still adequate?
Give me 30 seconds here to check something. So, for how your experiences have been going, it's like you've been using Gardener and Lord of the Flies pretty interchangeably.
Right.
So, let's see. If a outgrown a previous experience or it doesn't feel right anymore, you're not stuck with those. You might find your character experience as stealthy no longer matches the way you've been doing things. So you've been using the dead a lot. Like, that's been coming up really well for you.
This session was pretty good for the Being Dead, yes.
But you've been using Gardening and Lord of the Flies pretty interchangeably.
Right.
If you want to switch out one of those two with something that you think you've learned over the last couple sessions, I would definitely allow it. So, like, for example, with the number of times you've done this, the next experience I'd recommend for you is probably Identity Fraud or Identity Theft.
Yeah, you're right. I think that's probably Lord of the Flies is funny, but Identity Theft is probably more apt.
You've done it every session. So I'm going to say Identity Theft should go where Lord of the Flies is. And I think I would go with, I would update Amateur Gardener to be like etymological gardener or something. Or like Lord of the Flies and Plants. And just kind of like fold those into one experience.
Okay, now the question is, how do I edit that experience? Because it was letting me see the other two. Well, that's just something I'll have to figure out, I guess.
Yeah. But as we wrap things up, any final thoughts on the session, which really only had the one fight, and was mostly me just making you miserable? For like a solid hour.
I absolutely loved it, so that was...
You know what I enjoy? So we talked about how this part of the sessions where we start coming off the railroad. I separated you willingly from my DM NPC, the main device I was using to control the flow of the plot, and that's going to make me suffer.
Okay, so instead of Amateur Gardener, we're going to go with Botanist Extraordinaire.
Nice. That should do the trick. You went from Amateur Gardener to an Intermediate Gardener. Ah.
Botanist Extraordinaire.
After spending a month in the woods, that's fair.
How do you spell extraordinaire, anyways? Is that actually an English word? Extraordinaire.
EXTRAORDINAIRE.
Alright.
I say like I have any linguistic skills whatsoever, which is ironic. To say the least. My inability to spell is objectively funny.
It is pretty funny.
Also, I find it funny that the cliffside ascent is literally just spend a fear to have them fall. If they aren't saved on the next action, they hit the ground, and then the counter ticks up by 2.
Identity Theft, Being Dead, and Botanist Extraordinaire.
Being Dead was the clutch play. That was brilliant. That was so much better than it deserved to be.
So do we have a random question, or are we?
I don't think we do that for
this week.
I don't think we do that for this podcast.
I mean, it's up to you. You're the game master.
I think I'm good. I'm just gonna give that friendly reminder that Richard and Karl play Daggerheart. If you go to richardsitch.io in the episode description, you can find yourself the play along adventures, and I'll be updating with the side quest adventures kit when I feel like it. Probably this
Thanks
weekend.
for listening.
Happy frogging, happy gaming,
Frog and gaming. I like it.
right? Bye.
Bye.